Hi everybody, greetings, and 62 mass body here, ready for the build. Just a plain black face, classic, hopefully, 35 movement. There's the stem. I've got some classic sort of Seiko hands. I've got an orange second hand to replace that. I mean, it would look quite good, wouldn't it, with all silver, I think. Look pretty classy, look very Seiko, but it wouldn't really scream mod. It'd scream fake, so I think the extra little splash of orange probably helps in those terms, as does the strap. I've got a silicone rubber strap that's, I suppose, got leather effect with that load of holes everywhere, and the way that it's, it's sort of ostensibly stitched. It's got some stitches in it, but really it's just the way that that padding thing is just the way that the silicone's moulded. So it looks a bit leathery. It's not. It's a really very comfortable silicone strap that. I'm looking forward to wearing it. I'm sorry about the... seem to have both the skylight and the French window next to each other in the reflections there. But nevertheless, it is what it is. It's only a bit of fun, so we'll get on with it. See you in a sec. So the usual start is with the lugs off. This is 3 lugs on each side. You know which ones we're going to take off. We're going to take off the ones nearest the date window and the opposing ones on the other side. Because we've got a 3 o'clock crown for this 62 mass case. I don't really like snipping off for a 3 o'clock crown a dial that's got these on it, which is the 4 o'clock the 4 o'clock position for the, or 4.1 I guess, for the let me just take those off then, for the Captain Willards and Turtles, because very few dials come with those particular lugs on, and therefore using them up on a 3 o'clock crown is a bit of a waste, I have to say. However, this particular dial really is incredibly fetching within the 62 mass case, so that's what we're going to do. I mean, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? I'm going to file these down. You've seen that a million times. You can see it on any other video, so I'm not going to video it for this one. So I've filed the dial, I've cleaned the dial with a cloth, and now I'm just going to finish off getting any dust off the back and the front of the dial with Rodico. We'll particularly go around the date window, and I'm going to do it again anyway when I've seated it into the movement, to make sure that there's nothing lurking on the movement as well before we pop this on. There we go. That's that. Looks good. Looks very good. So I'll just I've put the crown on already, as well, as you can see, onto the stem. That's winding nicely. So if it just comes out one way, yep. So anti-clockwise, top of the date over, and then we'll just pull it right out and wind the movement round to 12 o'clock. Boom. Right, hands. Okay. No protector this time because the dial markers are really quite protruding, and consequently it's a bit tricky to bit all over the place. I just want to get it on a little bit, and then don't put too much pressure on this. I think that, I don't know if the head on my thing was the right head. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe this one's just a little tight. I think that's on a little bit. I can't really manoeuvre it with the pusher now, so that would suggest it is. I think that's absolutely cock on that. Sort of waggling a bit, isn't it? We get that thinner hole on, if that is a thinner hole or not, but I think it feels like it. So if I press that down quite hard, that should be perfect actually. I'll just make sure it's on. Yeah. It's on, seems to be on straight, so take that out and then leave that. So she's on. That's in good RAF, that. Okay. Let's get that thinner pusher on, and then we'll get our Rodico. Push that goodly onto the hand. Make sure that one's absolutely parallel, because I can't. Yep. I'm just going to spin that round because it seems to be easier for me to get it lined up nicely from looking at it from the side. I don't know why that's the case. You thought it'd be easier to look at it from, you know, the 6 to 12 o'clock eye line, but actually that's, for some reason it seems to work a bit better on the side. Don't know why. It does. Again, let's get my thinner pusher on. Well, now it's on, and it's nearly lined up. Let's see. There we go. You normally get quite a firm answer on the minute hand to whether you're on the pinion or not. It gives you a good answer. I just like to lift the hand up a little bit because it's gone all the way down the pinion there, which means it's quite close to the Just testing it now. Get my fat thumb out of the way. Make sure it all lines up beautifully, which it does. I'm actually very happy with that. An unusual state of affairs. Well, we've got to get the second hand on yet, so let's see how that goes. This is where I generally put the light on to aid my aging eyes. Nope. Nope. I'm not going to have many more goes before we put the face protector on, because this is the kind of fucking about that generally leads to faces getting scratched. So I'll just slip that under there. It's not absolutely critical for the for this to go on in any particular alignment. So other than actually on the pinion's bloody small. Last night was absolutely no beers whatsoever, and this is taking an unusual amount of time to get on. For me, I'm normally a bit better than that. I know some of the outtakes wouldn't suggest it, but this is the case. There we go. She's on. Beautiful. That is beautiful, isn't it? So turn this over in the holder. Put it down very gently. That's the lever, look. Remove our crown and turn that upside down and pop it in the case. That's probably about right, actually, because the bezel's got a turn on it. I say that. Just move the movement using the it feels as if it's not deep enough into the case, actually. Oof! That does happen. That does happen. Oh, what's going on? It usually happen like that. Hey! Oh, you bugger. I think that's properly seated actually now. Okay. Turn this over now and we'll just check the it's got a very satisfying click on this bezel. Oh yeah, that's pretty smart. I like that. What isn't pretty smart though is I've put it in without cleaning the bloody glass on the underside, haven't I? I think I can see a bit of dust on the inside. Stupid boy. So what we'll do is we'll measure the crown anyway, because we need to cut that down, and we need to take the crown out, etc. When I take the crown out, I'm going to quickly whip the thing out as well. It's funny, I did one of these the other day, and it told me it was 7 to wind it into the thing. So I'll set it at 5. Set the vernier calipers at 5, and I'll just turn it side on again to make life easy for me. Make sure you can see it. So that's into the case. Just make sure that's actually winding the movement. Yeah. So it's in, it's not loose. That's changing the movement. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's the underside of the... So that's how much? Well, it's 6. Which accords with the fact that actually, when I did do the other one the other day, it was a bit... I took a bit too much off and I had to get an extra stem. So we'll take 6 off this one. Crown down, put that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 6mm off that crown stem, and that should be the right number. Again, you've seen that a million times. I'm not going to video that for you. I'm not going to video me cleaning the inside of the case either, but I'm going to do this. And there's also missing is a gasket, which is in there, just getting itself nicely greased at the minute. I must go and fetch the back of the watch too. So I'll do all of those little things and then I'll come back to you. All right, so the crown's done. I've just slipped it in. I need to check it. Put the back on, just to see we've got the Kanagawa wave on the back, or Cowabunga, or whatever it was called. So we get that finger tight. I'm going to take it off again in a minute and put the gasket in, but for the time being we will just make sure that we can change the time. The time now is actually 1:15, so I might go for a bit of a date change as well. Well, that would have been it, wouldn't it? So 1:15 it is. Boom. Only 5 seconds. That's that. Jumped a minute as I put it in. I don't know if I've got... I don't know if that's actually the glass or... So anyway, it's winding nicely. We know it's changing the thing. I've no idea what date it is today. It must be less like something like the 29th or something like that. 29th of June, that would be. Okay, so that's that. I mean, this is the finished article, isn't it, really? Just want to make sure that the crown winds right up to the, yeah, which it does. That's great. That's great. So bezel's working nicely. The whole thing's a bit dirty, so we'll give it a really good wipe with a linted cloth before we submit it for photography. Oh yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, pleased with that. I can take these things off the side as well, the protectors. Make that look good. I'll show you that in a second. Scratch that little protector. They put a little protector on the end of the crown, which is, I mean, it is just a PVC coating, but it seems to go on more like a paint than a piece of whether they glue it on. They must, yeah. It's like the kind of thing that a builder might put down on your floor to protect the floor against falling plaster or paint if they're plastering or painting. So I'm gonna, so that's that off. That's that off. One more to go. Is it the right size? That one might be too small. Picked up the wrong one there, I think. That looks right, doesn't it? I say that, I wonder if that one's too big. Too big, too small, yeah. Let's see what else we've got. Good news is they're all well greased. That's the one. Beautiful. So I'll pop that on. So finger tight. The great news about this particular watch back is that it'll take this kind of tool, so I can tighten her up substantially. That's good. Wind that down. There we are. That one will be properly waterproof. And there it is. Your friendly neighbourhood 62 mass recreation with a little bit of extra pizzazz in the form of our red second hand. But I'm very chuffed with that, so I'll give it a clean, I'll give it a bit of a wipe down again. and I'll stick it on my wrist and I'll photograph it and we can have a look at that at the end of the video. Cheers.